Hashem Yahav Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On the second half of the party. First half of the party was called Take the Long Way Home. Now we're in Nomad Studio on a walkabout. Heading back to some familiar territory. Got less than 19% left on the battery on the other device. So I'm about to go in. You'll be able to catch the recording at any time, inshallah, darn willing. Got one in YouTube land. Hashem Yahav Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Had to stop the party earlier because I misplaced one of the devices. I found it. In the midst of pulling up some research information. Who we got here? Raider Ron, White T, Kato Butterfly, Matalabadi. Hashem Yahav Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all. This is a party. It's titled Nomad Studio. Ever seen a traveling studio before? We get together 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about ethics in entrepreneurship. Spent the last few days discussing the patriarchs. Started with Asher. Then we discussed Dan. Then we discussed Naphtali. Then we discussed Reuben. Then we discussed Simeon. Next up, Levi. We're trying to find out what were the actual services as far as mercantile was concerned that were the responsibilities of the different brothers in the family of Yahashraya.
Father's peace to everyone who catches this message.
We're at 17% over here. And the other
this party is called Familiar. It's always time for a party.
So I'm about to turn it off in a minute.
We've been invited to a party.
Made it over to the Facebook profile where I've got my links shared at any time. You can go and look and see them for yourself.
You don't get to run your mouth. There's usually a host there.
Give me just a
And
moment.
they get to run their mouth.
We're about to be pulling up what's going
Usually a
on.
lot of people there. Might be a lot of voices. But you don't get to drown out everybody else just because you want to say what you have to say.
There's Paka Levine and Raider asking questions.
And somebody wanted to hear that. What's this all about?
I'm from the
Anytime
Green
you go
Throne,
to a live
the Emerald Throne.
broadcast,
That's where I'm
that's a
from.
party. Doesn't mean you get to come in and say what you
What
want
am
to
I
say.
doing, H?
Sometimes you just need to come in and listen.
What are you doing here?
Then,
Apparently you
if
came
you have
to
something to
find out
say,
what's going on in
there's
somebody
rules
else's
to a
world. So you're here just to
You have
watch.
to ask permission. You don't just get to blurt out.
Like I said,
Now, why is it
this is a
always
regular
time for a
broadcast. We
party?
get together 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Is
Eastern
it
Standard Time
celebrating?
to talk about
Some of
ethics
y'all might look at the
in
last book in
entrepreneurship.
the Bible and decide
In
to
order to
wonder
talk about
about
ethics,
Armageddon.
look at there, 31 people in
Revelation
YouTube land.
is not about reveal.
Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom
It's
Barak
about
Allahu
rebel.
Assalamu Alaikum
Jump
War
the joy.
Matalahi War Barakatuh.
Party.
Our Father's peace and
And if
blessings
you
be
know it, it's
upon
a
all of
foul.
you
You're
and
fine.
His mercy on you, your
Shout out to
family, and
Food
your
Out
household,
Sorry, had a fight in
your
the earlier
circles.
at the party. It's always time for a party. My father speaks to everyone who catches this message.
Taking a little walkabout to get where we're going. We got another one in that wants to speak. Tom. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum Wa Rahmatullahi Wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. Where I come from, I'm supposed to give everyone the best greeting possible, no matter what it is you're talking about. So you tell me I need a haircut without being able to speak proper grammar. That's your opinion. And just as much as you are mistaken in your grammar, you are mistaken in your opinion. And then the next person, let's see here. Lormatani, Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Einstock Brat. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum Wa Rahmatullahi Wa Barakatuh. Sarah Hobby, I see you. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum Wa Rahmatullahi Wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. That's for everyone who's come here to the party. If you don't know about Sherwood Forest, I suggest you go look it up. If you don't know about Robin Hood, I suggest you go look him up. You ask me, what am I doing here? I'm on a mission. I'm here to tell everybody about Asher and the day of Ashura. You see, the day after Passover is the day of Ashura. There's a lot of things that happened after the day of Passover. More importantly, that same day, Passover, is marked by an agreement made between Ibrahim and one of the order of Melchizedek. Ibrahim paid a tribute to Melchizedek right after he defeated 7 kingdoms that were occupying Canaanite territory. And in the tribute and in the agreement, he stated, my children will not carry on the ways of the polytheists that we just destroyed. You can call me Bob the Builder. So, possibly your own mother tongue. That's the mission. For those who have taken the oath, La ilaha illallah, there is none other to be worshipped except Allah. Well, who is Allah? That's Allahu. Well, who is Allahu? That's Elohim, Lord over all worlds. Yahweh is the name for our Creator. Abba, Father. Rabbi Shfirli, our great teacher. Let's see who's in the building now. Facto Hype. Allahu Akbar. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. The Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. Facto Hype. We have an angel on our left shoulder and an angel on our right shoulder. One angel writes down everything that we think. The other angel writes down everything that we say and do. Please restrain yourself. If you say that you are a Muslim, it means that you are walking in service of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, at all times. You don't go out in public and drop expletives and then turn around and say, oh, sorry, I'm a Muslim. That's bad representation. That's why I'm here, because that is haram. Halal Yahweh Elohim subhanahu wa ta'ala. Well, you don't have to tell me about feeling guilty. You go take that up with Allah. See, that's your personal ijtihad. You're still in a personal struggle. We all have a personal struggle. Jihad does not mean go run in front of a tank and blow yourself up. The true root of the word is ijtihad. It's your inner struggle. The choice to do what is halal instead of doing what is haram. You don't ask me to forgive you. It's not my place to forgive you. You need to take that up with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like I said, that's not on me. We got 15% left. We're actually almost to the resting spot. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling up this information. We're going to Bible Hub, BIBLEHUB. BIBLEHUB. I'm here to let you know that there are correlations and parallels between what goes on in the Bible and the Quran and in the Apocrypha. When you study, you will learn the truth instead of just listening to what somebody says, especially if they're just repeating the same thing over and over that other people are repeating. If you go study for yourself, you will learn a lot more than just listening to somebody. I'm suggesting you to do that even off of the things I'm about to tell you. That's why I'm also telling you which links to go visit so you can see for yourself. Let's see here. Melanated twink star. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Allah. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. Melanated twink star. Where I come from, I'm supposed to address everyone with the best greeting possible. I was just speaking on the tribute that Ibrahim gave to Melchizedek. And the reason why he gave a tribute is because Ibrahim had been trained by Melchizedek. meaning he was of the order Melchizedek. There's a lot of people running around here talking about they want to be Levites or they are Levites or whatever the case may be. Here's a breakdown for you. The order of Melchizedek was here way before Levi was even born. There was already a standard being taught. The order of Melchizedek gets their orders from the same teachings as Adam. That's why I'm here. Every day, except for Saturday, Shabbat. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Because not enough people know what's true, what's righteous. Everybody's going around talking about how right they are. However, they don't have any information. They don't have any real references that they can go and check to back it up. Ibrahim took the path of Noah. Noah took the path of Methuselah. Methuselah took the path of Seth. Seth took the path of Adam. Adam was taught by Yahweh Elohim through Ravak HaKadesh, and he was told that he's supposed to hold down a certain standard until Yahashua HaMashiach comes along. That's why I'm here. So we started with Asher. Then we studied Dan. Then we studied Naphtali. Then we studied Reuben. Then we studied Simeon, which led us to Levi. Facto hype. If you're here to argue with me, you're wasting your time because I already have an agenda. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. There's a difference between arguing, debating, and having a conversation. Right now, you're just still being rude. Like I said earlier, if you doubt anything, I suggest you go find the information. I told you where we're going. You're trying to argue with me, and I haven't even opened up the information yet. Is that what you're here for? A debate is an argument, and I'm not here to debate with you. I already have an agenda. I'm about to give some information. You're not going to get a spotlight here. Open up your own channel and do your own show. I'm not here to debate you.
They're screaming lines, but nobody hearkens. I don't fall, cause when you fall, it hurts. The blood I spilled is red, and my body is bruised blue, like a smurf. I don't fall, cause when you fall, it hurts. The blood I spilled is red, and my skin is bruised and blue, like a smurf.
So we're going to Bible Hub. When I first went there, I found a link that's basically topical Bible discussions. I know the screen is backwards. These are the links. Topical Encyclopedia. Levi. Bible Hub. BIBLEHUB. conserve your battery power. Don't use it. Leaving it on when you're not using it. Topical encyclopedia. We're talking about Levi. Here's the introduction. Levi is a significant figure in the Bible, known as the third son of Jacob and Leah. His name is associated with the clan of Levi, which played a crucial role in the religious and priestly life of Yahashua. The Levites were set apart for specific duties related to worship and the tabernacle, and later the temple. Biblical background. Levi was born to Jacob and Leah as recorded in Genesis chapter 29, verse 34. Again, she conceived and gave birth to a son, and she said, "Now at last my husband will become attached to me, because I've borne him 3 sons." So his name was Levi. The name Levi is often associated with the Hebrew word lava, meaning to join or to attach. Role and significance. Levi's descendants, the Levites, were chosen by Yahweh Elohim for a special service. This selection is highlighted in the aftermath of the golden calf incident, where the Levites stood with Moses against idolatry. Exodus chapter 32, verses 26 through 29. As a result, they were set apart for the service of the tabernacle. At that time, Adon set apart the clan of Levi to carry the Ark of the Covenant of Adon, to stand before Yahweh Elohim to minister, and to pronounce blessings in his name, as they do to this day. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 8. Priestly duties. The Levites were responsible for various duties in the tabernacle and later the temple. They assisted the priests, who were descendants of Aaron, a Levite himself. Numbers chapter 3, verses 6 through 9, outlines their responsibilities. Bring the family of Levi and present them to Aaron the priest to assist him. They are to perform duties for him and for the whole community at the tent of meeting by doing the work of the tabernacle. I need you to take note right there. The Levites were trained by Aaron. In Farsi, his name is Harun. Harun is the brother of Musa, Moses. Moses received training and learning. Obviously, he didn't get it from the Levites. The training and learning that Moses received was later spoken to the people through Harun, Aaron. He was Moses' mouthpiece. Now, who's to say if he knew everything that Moses knew? However, he knew a lot more than what the Levites knew, and that's the reason why they were told, you need to go and seek the counsel and the teachings of Aaron. So apparently Aaron may or not have been a Levite. If he is Musa's brother, then definitely no. Inheritance and cities. Unlike other tribes, the Levites did not receive a territorial inheritance in the Promised Land. Instead, they were given cities scattered throughout Yahashua and described in Joshua chapter 21. Their inheritance was Adon himself, as stated in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 1 through 2. The Levitical priests, indeed the whole tribe of Levi, shall have no portion or inheritance with Yahashua. They shall eat the offerings made by fire to Adon, for that is their inheritance. Later we will see the same thing where it says, the order of Melchizedek are the ones who are supposed to get this right here. When it says, they shall eat the offerings made by fire to Adon, for that is their inheritance. It was given to the order of Melchizedek because the Levites, some of them actually did venture off the divine path. Right now, we're just doing summaries for what each of these brothers were doing. Later, we're going to go back and actually do an intense research to find out how the other events and incidents tie into one another. Because there's all kinds of stories talking about how one brother did the other one wrong. or they were running off to go into a battle and some people didn't want to join in because they didn't want to support. All that stuff's there. To the fact that it's left with Levi and Judah, Lava and Yehovah. Levi in prophecy and history. Levi's role extends into prophetic literature, where the purification and restoration of the Levitical priesthood are anticipated. Malachi chapter 3, verse 3 speaks of refining the Levites. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. He will purify the sons of Levi and refine them like gold and silver, so that they may present offerings to Adon in righteousness. That passage is saying that Yahashua HaMashiach will be the real purifier of the Levites and present them to Yahweh Elohim once they come correct. Because even though it does state that the Levites stood with Moses, some of them stepped off the path. It says they stood, and that's literally what they did. Physically what they did. They stood and watched while the people set up the golden calf and made a feast. They stood and watched while the people pressured Aaron to make sure that there was going to be a proper bonfire. They stood and watched. They didn't stop it. New Testament references. If you happen to know anything about the Testament, that means that's the agreement. There was an agreement made originally. That agreement never stopped. It never changed. In the New Testament, the Levites are mentioned in the context of their historical and religious significance. The Gospel of Luke references a Levite in the parable of the Good Samaritan. Luke chapter 10, verse 32, illustrating the cultural and religious expectations of the time. Around here, we don't talk about the gospel. We talk about the Injil. The Injil is the lineage. That's not just some names. It's the stories behind what those names did, because those names represent a certain person, not just a character or a persona. It represents their life. It's not about just, oh, okay, I'm going to go over here and bow down and put my head to the ground and say a couple of words and that's going to save me. No. What do you do from your own self? What is your work? That is the idea of the Injil. What was the work of Adam? What was the work of Seth, Sot? What was the work of Noah? What was the work of Yaab, Job, Methuselah? What was the work of Musa, Harun, Melchizedek, Yahweh Elohim, Yahashua HaMashiach? When I threw in that Yahweh Elohim, I need you to understand something. See, all of them followed the standards until it got to the point where it had been almost 400 years in order for Barashait to come into existence completely. And when it did, a point was driven home. You get one priest up in front of 200 people and they'll say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, and go right back home and do things like they basically said, no, sir. It drives a point home. A king will be worshiped just because of his personality, because of his charm. So if he says it a certain way, everybody wants to do it. It becomes popular because this great person said that's how we're supposed to do. not because it was already written into you. Because once you are born and birthed into this world, you may become corrupted because there's choices within mankind. In conclusion, Levi's legacy is deeply embedded in the religious life of Yahashua, with his descendants serving as key figures in the worship and spiritual leadership of the nation. The Levites' dedication to Yahweh Elohim and their unique role in Yahashua's history underscore the importance of faithfulness and service in the biblical narrative. If there's a whole family set out of 12 families, all the way to 14 families, there's one family, and they got one work to do. Then if you got an order of priests, then what was everybody else doing? Because in order for you to have a community, there has to be a network of interdependency. Right now, my device is low on battery. I could go through all of the necessary things in order to power it up. However, that would stall us out. The only thing lagging right now is that I haven't read the testimony of Levi. So since there was a drop and all of that, I had to stop the party and pause it for a minute. Adon willing, we'll pick up on this the next time we meet up. We get together 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to discuss ethics in entrepreneurship. This is Sunday through Friday. Saturday is recognized as Shabbat. I don't do lives on Shabbat. I still post on social media. I'm in different places, not just on YouTube. Look up hashtag 3PROJH. Hashtag Highest Heights Studio. You can look up the handle Angelic Discipline because I'm on several different platforms. Until next time, our Father's peace and blessings, mercy be upon all of you, your families, and your circles. Thank you for coming to the party. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, Wa Rahmatullahi Wa Barakatuh.